LinkedIn. It should be live there, no? Okay, you have to click to join. I'm clicking to join. Huh? It's showing me there's something wrong. Wait, how do I do? Wait, if after all this, where is that? Where's the
Yeah, I
poll?
see an icon saying that it's live. So,
You can see it's live.
I mean, I see
Oh
my
yeah, 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 yeah. It is. It is. It is. Yeah.
is right. So, do you want me to go on LinkedIn and check?
No, it is. It is. It is. But my camera is stuck for some reason.
I can see you.
Yeah. God, we're doing all this in live.
Shall we start?
Okay. We've done all the prep. Now let's begin.
Okay.
Start.
Okay. Hi everyone. So this is Shweta and my first live. We have actually decided to do this as a series of conversations, like a fireside chat. So to introduce myself, my name is Ramya, and I identify with being a poet, a parent, a philosopher, and professor, wearing many hats. Primarily, I see myself as an educator, whether that's in the classroom, workshops, facilitation, as a coach, and I follow an inside out method. So that's what I do. Shweta.
But tell me a little bit more. I'll come to my introduction in a bit, but I was listening to what you said, Ramya. Uh, Tell me a little bit more about what you do. You said you identify as many things. I know you teach at IM.
Yes.
What is the other work you do?
So I coach, I work with leaders, I work with professionals, I conduct workshops, I have online courses. I help people craft their careers and craft their lives. I sort of have a personal mission, which is to de-villainize work. So I see myself as an enabler or whatever, a catalyst, or do whatever I can to help people make their work their best friend rather than their worst enemy. And along my journey of all these years of trying to do that, I've realized that in order to do that, they first have to make their own minds, their brains, their best friend rather than their worst enemies. So I didn't make this up. I lifted it off the Gita, which has been a huge inspiration for me. And so that's why the inside out approach.
Oh wow, that sounds amazing. I'll introduce myself. I am Shweta. Shweta Mani. I am a ICC certified PCC level coach. Just like you, I also coach leaders. I'm also a business storyteller. I conduct workshops in storytelling, in leadership storytelling, narrative building. I also work individually with clients on both storytelling. And of course, I coach both individuals and corporates. This is my current career, but this is probably my third career, if you might call it that. I've, I've done many things. I've lived. One of the key things, one interesting thing that I like to share about myself is I've lived in 3 countries, 9 cities, and 25 homes. And among my various identities, I think some of the most important ones are being a mom, being a wife, being a pet mom,
Mhm.
being a sister, being a daughter. And I really value my friendships. So that's about me.
Lovely. Uh,
Anything? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I know quite a bit about you actually from so both of us, and this is for the audience. Both Shweta and I are also part of a community that's We call ourselves the Win Sisters, women in from IIM worldwide. And Shweta was one of the creators. Weren't you, Shweta, one of the creators of that community?
No, I was actually Vinita, actually, who lives in Pune. It was her brainchild. She started it, but those early days, I was when she first started it, I was moving cities, and I knew her from before because of the IM community here, and she was looking for someone to moderate the group. So I was one of the early moderators of the group, simply because I was in between cities and looking for jobs, and I had exit my startup, was looking to go back to work by then. I had a few months on hand, so I had taken it up as a timed sort of thing to set up the sort of initial systems, and then we obviously got Durva and other people to go there.
Yes. So that was my introduction to Shweta Money Magic. So this was an amazing group started on Facebook, and I saw Shweta's hard work, the work that she put into moderating it. It was nothing short of magic. That community grew to 7,000 in a year members, and it's not stopped. It's we have so many spin-offs and multiple city groups, subgroups, a huge amount of contribution. And I don't so this was a surprise to Shweta when I told her this yesterday as well. But over the years I've been really touched and moved by the her responses. So this is a sisterhood where people post a lot of questions and things, and Shweta's response would always be a response that would make me go, wow, that's nice. Like, so it really resonated. So I've been observing, reading, understanding her. So she probably doesn't know how well I know her through all the
No, it's really when you mentioned that, I was like, I mean, we all think we live in little bubbles that nobody sees us in, and then you don't realize that that's happening.
yeah.
So it did take me back a little. I mean, I obviously one gets to know people in the group, but that someone's been reading and forming an opinion is, I mean, it's obvious that we all do, but it was just a little surprising when you told me that, right? And
Yeah.
therefore, I think we should come to, the how we got started on this idea of creating a podcast slash LinkedIn Live. The idea came to me actually some time ago. I've been following some friends who've done this, and I do think there is some merit. I do have things to talk about, but I felt that it would be a very lonely journey to do it alone. And I wanted to do it with somebody who kind of had either the shared mission or had a similar sort of mindset, mind frame. So I had put it out on one of our groups that, hey, I want to do this. And Ramya reached out. And it was, I think, less than a month ago, I think, when we kind of started the idea of it. And that's how we kind of said, okay, let's give it a shot. I think our goal is to somehow, for sure, do this every 2 weeks for a year and then see where that goes, right? And along the way, we'll discover each other and we'll discover topics to talk about as well.
Yeah.
And that's fun, right? And I must tell you that when Ramya reached out, I was pleasantly taken aback. As we all know, Ramya is really accomplished, right? She is an author, she is a speaker. Everybody on, I mean, while she was observing me, the person, I was observing her, the persona. Uh, so, but the other thing that struck me, why, I'll be honest, a couple of other people did reach out as well. I think the one thing that we both sort of resonate with each other and with ourselves is, I think we're both very, very open and authentic as people. I think you don't have any fat layers in the way you carry yourself, and I found that from whatever I have noticed, you live your life with a lot of intentionality, right? Uh, and I try to do that too. I also try to do that too. So I think if I was thinking about the two or three things that when you reached out, it did not occur to me to, like, we had one conversation, we were on without any reservations. Is the reason it felt so comfortable was, I think, at some level we live our lives very similarly in terms of We're both inside out people. We both sort of live lives with intention, and we're both on a journey, also in similar in terms of parallel domains. Though of course Ramya being further along on that journey. Uh,
No, we've both redefined success for ourselves. I remember
Yeah,
reading your
for sure. I think for sure we both redefine success, what that means for ourselves. So I think we're both very much inside out as people, right? I think that's a common thing. Cool. So I think we've taken fair amount of time being self-indulgent. Now we should get on to the idea of the lighthouse and the fog. I think when we came up with the name, we both instantly knew that was the one, right? We both like instantly connected with the name. So I thought and we've not done this, like we didn't want to discuss it and we wanted to keep it a bit spontaneous. So we've not sort of discussed it uh, outside of this upfront. So we wanted to discuss it online and I mean in real time and see what that word lighthouse in the fog. Why does it resonate so much with you, Ramya? And why did you instantly connect with it?
Yes, I'll tell you that. And before that, I'm a pet parent as well, and my dog is howling right now. Is it disturbing? Can you hear? Or
I can hear.
okay, so that means everyone can hear. Okay,
That's okay. That's okay. He'll shut up.
but is
I
it at
think everybody, we bring our whole selves to this, and our pets included.
yeah,
So we, yep.
but am I still audible over her howl?
So far, yes.
Okay, if it gets worse, just let me know. I'll just pause and
Yeah,
yeah, I can give her a bone or something and come
yeah.
back. So
Maybe
so
you want to do that because she's going to
yeah,
continue. I think.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Yeah,
Let me just. I'll just be back.
yeah.
Back. Okay. Am I audible now, Shweta?
Are you back?
I'm back.
Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead.
Okay, so the lighthouse in the fog. This has appealed to me at two levels, and I'll tell you both. So one is with regard to the inner work, right, the inside out work. So one of the things that I do a lot and it is in terms of working with our mental models and the clutter in our minds, our thoughts, our emotions. And self awareness is how I see the lighthouse. The lighthouse and the fog is symbolism for all our thoughts and emotions. It can be all messy and, all interwoven, and you don't know what's happening. And that self awareness of actually seeing, okay, what's happening in my own mind? What am I thinking? What are my beliefs? That is the lighthouse shining that. So that is one level at which I resonated. The second, and I hope I'm not being very presumptuous or assuming about the impact that we can create through this conversation series and podcast that we're doing, but I would love this podcast to be a lighthouse in the fog for many, many, many people. And that was the second way that I resonated with it, because there's a lot of fog around, and again, as an educator, again, I don't want to like overstate the importance of educators or contribution of what we can bring to people, but over the many, many years, a lot of people reach out saying, can you help with this, can you do this, can you do this, can you answer, and there is not that much bandwidth, right? And there's a part of me that really, really sometimes wants to help everyone with whatever I know. And I really hope that this series can actually do that. and in a fun way where it's contributing to us. We are cultivating a friendship, because I really, I mean, that's one of my vested agendas to do this. It's like we keep building our friendship and bond, and it's like having this nice sisterly conversation, catching up, and as we're doing that and nurturing one another and sharing, everyone else gets to benefit from this as well. So that's the other vision I have of the lighthouse.
Wow, that's such a lovely, lovely, lovely vision. I'll tell you why it resonated for me at two levels, right? But the levels are a little bit different from yours. One is similar, one is different. So when I was articulating my why, um, of why I do what I do, which is both in my storytelling work, in my coaching work, and I was trying to kind of connect what all is sort of common across. They're both similar and yet very different, and I love them both equally. Uh, so one of the things that is common across both of those is what happens to my clients at the end of that engagement, right? Be it coaching or whatever. And more often than not, I see my role in their lives as opening little windows in their own head, right? And letting the light in, which is actually like being a lighthouse in the fog, right? Which essentially lets light in. So opening little windows in your head and letting light in and being a lighthouse in the fog to me are kind of the same thing, right? That is one level. The other level is just the word lighthouse in the fog, right? It's a metaphor. It's a beautiful, beautiful, evocative metaphor. When someone says lighthouse in the fog, it just immediately everybody knows what that means. And as a storyteller, the using a metaphor as the title was like it was slam dunk, you know. And you and I both know we went through some really bad ideas as well along the way, like and which our co-sisters in some of our groups really
Short
shot down.
out.
They just shot it down, saying it's terrible. Don't do it. So I think yeah. So I think that those are my reasons for choosing the title, right? I mean, loving the title, and I think when we came to this title, we didn't really look back at all. So yeah, and what do I hope that people get out of it? I think we should go through our, you know, and we were both. I think just for the listeners, we were like wondering what is. I mean, the world is full of so much content. Why would you come here again, right? So we spent some time like going back and forth and I asked Ramya, and Ramya was like, listen, I can't think right now. And I was like, I can't think either, you know? And so then we said, okay, let's put structure. That's what we both do in our own work in different ways. Let's put a little structure around it. And there's this narrative framework that one uses in one, I use in my work. And I use that to gain clarity for my clients. I was like, I'm my client right now. We are our clients right now. One should try it to see if it helps us. And what we did is we had these series of 3 or 4 questions to help us clarify why this sort of LinkedIn Live will matter. And we didn't want to discuss each other's answers. So we just shared the questions and we're going to discover in live what each of us thinks around those questions. So, Ramya, you want to go first? I think I know the questions. I'll go. Let's do it this way. I'll ask the first question. You ask the second question. I'll ask the
Okay.
third question. Do you want to see the questions?
Yeah. Do we want to share the questions, or I'll just open it up here?
You open it up here, and I don't know how we'll share it, but
Yeah, we won't share. We'll just open it out on our
yeah,
respective
yeah, yeah.
PCs. Yeah, you can ask the first one.
Yeah. The first one is audience, right? I mean, at the end of the day, everything needs an audience. Who do you think is going to tune in on a regular basis? Who do you think is going to value, if you were to call it customer, audience, whatever that is? Who do you think you're speaking to through this podcast?
So while starting out, I thought of three kinds of people who will tune in, and that's where I'm open for the universe to, surprise us and anyone else to tune in, for it to be organic. But the first audience that I thought of is leaders and professionals, because those are the people that we serve and those are the people we work with. The second audience that I thought will tune in is our WIM sisters, and primarily because I think of this as a sisterhood conversation and a fireside chat, and I think what we discuss would just be of relevant and interest to others as well. And the third group of people that I think would tune in actually are, founders, entrepreneurs, people who have portfolio careers, or people who are what's this? There's a certain word I forgot. Self-employed, because both of and reinventing themselves, because by virtue of our life journeys, that's something that we've both done multiple times when we're walking. And one of the things I've realized in my life is um, that people come to me, are drawn to me for what I say I teach and I teach, but many others are also drawn from to me just for the path I've walked, whether or not I want to teach about it. Right? So that's how the universe works. So I think both of us being self-driven, having create being creators, influencers, I think we're going to attract those kind of people as well.
It's so fascinating. I mean, I have to say you've given it a lot more thought than I have. Um, so obviously, the first and the third for me are kind of the same bucket. It is people who are one serves through one's work, which is leaders and entrepreneurs, essentially, right? Hopefully, they will find some value in this. But you're right, as you were thinking about it, I think a lot of the resonation that I've had through my writing and through all of that is, including you being attracted to me today, for instance, is just sharing anecdotes from my life or my learning. So it's a bit presumptuous to say that people are going to come in and tune in to hear about my life, but I think a lot of people are looking for to not be alone. You know, a lot of people are looking for, they're struggling through things and they are looking to not be alone, right? And they want to know that, hey, somebody else has been there, you know. So hopefully, through some of the things we share, some of that will happen as well.
Yeah. See,
Um,
that that is what attracted me to you. So that is what you were doing on the Wim group. When people would talk about what they needed, you would just come so generously with your lived experience and help people. I'm going to try and do that. I mean, but I think we'll also have to be who we are. I don't think I do that as much. Like I'm, but we'll see. But I'm sure you will. So yeah.
I hope so. I hope this is a new medium for me, and I'm so much better off typing and hiding behind a screen, and showing my face and doing this in live is new. So I hope I'm able to hold up and be as authentic as when I write. So yeah, so I think that's an interesting take on audience. Kind of similar, I think we're going to kind of talking to the same sets of people.
Yeah.
Um, what's the second question?
Yeah. What might they be struggling with, seeking answers for when they tune in? Yeah. So this is, I have my hypothesis, and I guess Shweta will have it as well. But this is one area where I'm really, really willing to. We'll do it right away, actually, because we've also decided to just keep these short, like half an hour, so we don't take up too much time, and people know how long this is going to be. So this is an invitation for anyone listening to us, wanting to listen to us in future. You can let us know. You can let us know, yeah, what you would like us to talk about, and we'll try our best to integrate those topics. Um,
And you know what? Actually, on that, sorry to interrupt you there. I
yeah,
just saw this on another podcast. I think what we'll do is by our next podcast, we'll create an email ID. So anyone who has any queries or questions can email us and we can put the email there. And
some,
then we'll create a Gmail ID for that, right? Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
yeah. Or they could also just comment on LinkedIn if that's less effort.
Yeah, yeah, you
To the
could,
question
yeah,
out
yeah.
there.
And which they could do today as well. Yeah,
Where they can build on one another's questions also, right? So
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, so the my initial hypothesis is what might they be struggling with: career crafting, life crafting, inner resilience, narratives. Yeah, really, basically the work that Shweta and me do, and that's my primary hypothesis. But I'm willing to be surprised on this.
Yeah. I think I thought about it because for me, I've always struggled to integrate my storytelling and my coaching, right? They do one is a little bit more on the marketing side, though you do storytelling and organization building and all of that as well. And one is certainly more like personal development. Um, and I decided to keep it simple and really talk to people who are struggling to with issues in their life or in their work, and that they felt that would benefit from awareness or benefit from uh, eurekas or ahas on how to deal with a particular life situation. Right? I think it's simpler to think about it like that for me. So yeah, so I think people who are, and I think many people are. I think since as someone who's been there, done that, one of the things I see is, and particularly women, but men as well, and I think we everyone wants to live an intentional life, uh, but we all struggle with all the various cloaks that we worn about what society expects, what other people are doing, how much money people should earn, and that kind of blocks us from uh, really even thinking clearly about ourselves
Yeah.
very often, right? So hopefully some of that is stuff that we will do. But yeah, I do feel that these are very initial thoughts, as with any new startup. I fully expect that we'll be surprised. We'll be surprising ourselves, both from what people tell us and what we discover through our conversations with each other. That it could go in a whole bunch of ways, or maybe we'll decide we want to talk about something new each time. But broadly speaking, we did want to have an initial sort of hypothesis of what what that would be, and I think that's the hypothesis, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it feels to me like, as we grow,
Hmm.
we just invite others to grow with us. And
Yeah.
as these conversations contribute to each of us, it's just, yeah, everyone else is welcome to join in. Join into the party.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think, yeah. Question three is, from my memory, it's a transformation journey, right? What are you struggling with, and what are you going to get out of it? How are you going to be transformed? What is the aha that you're going to get out of this, right? So, what do you think are the ahas that you think people are going to get out?
So, so I'm not going to be humble here. Okay. I actually think there's going to be a lot of like knowledge ahas, like from both of us. Like we read a lot, we think a lot, we teach a lot, right? So there is a lot of content that I know we will be bringing into our sessions, and we talked about that as well. But other than that, I think the transformation is also going to happen at a more subtle level. And I'm going to loop back to what you mentioned about the loneliness. I think it's so true. And I think a lot of us, a lot of people are struggling with things that they think it's only me, it's only in my head. And I think a conversation like this, especially with you and me knowing what I know about us, is going to be a little bit of there's going to we're going to bring a little bit of normalness around it, that these no one's struggling in this silo, that it's only you who are weird or wrong or can't fit in or struggling with this. Everyone's going through all of that. So I think there's going to be the transformation is going to happen at a level of non-judgment, normalization. It's okay, we're all in it together. Shared humanity, that's the word for it.
Whoa, that's a big one. That would be lovely if we can achieve that, right?
Yeah.
What did I think the transformation? For me, it was just the lighthouse in the fog. If everyone at the end of every episode, you walk away with one little thing that you think you can apply in your own life, that's going to make you feel less alone, less lonely, more intentional in how you live. I think that's enough. I don't think we need to pack it in with research, and a lot of it is going to be very easy and accessible. I don't see us being pedantic at all. Because we're just two girls talking. So I think that vibe, I think we both like. I think we're going to retain that. And the rest of it is just, I think, hopefully in my case, lived experience a little bit, and then reading and books and insight, hopefully a little bit, right? That you can apply. In every episode, if you can take away one aha, that you think is useful, I think that's great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
if you're feeling a little lighter and
Yeah.
you feel like you've talked to two sisters,
Yeah.
elder sisters, younger sisters, we'll let you decide that.
Yeah. 2 more minutes, Ramya. Last question.
Okay, why should they choose us over a gazillion options? Yeah,
I think we've addressed that already, right?
yeah, we have. Yeah, yeah.
I think it just, hopefully, it's a friendly place, a warm place, uh, where you also get, like you said, two sisters talking. You're coming to with a certain issue, and two sisters are helping you out solve it in some way. Um, it could need not be, yeah, for anyone. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's about it. Right?
Okay, so I guess we could close it and with an invitation to anyone listening now or after this, please co-create this with us. Oh, we wanted to ask people about the time, Shweta. If
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes, yes. Why
uh,
don't you ask? Why don't you go ahead and ask that?
Okay, so one of the things we're testing multiple hypotheses here in terms of content, in terms of timing, all of that questions. We of course want to make this inclusive. Send in your questions, but also send in suggestions on what time you think will work for this live. So it's a 30 minutes is what we've thought of twice a month. So does 8 p.m. on Tuesdays work, or do you have other suggestions? We were toying with the lunch hour as well. If you think that works better, let us know. So they can let us know on comments on either of our feeds, right? This is going on both our feeds. Just let us know either ways.
And I really like the idea that Ramya said that we want to co-create it with people who listen. So come back with questions. What do you want to hear us talk about? Those of you who know us well, um, just reach out and say, hey, I would like you guys to talk about something, and we'll come back prepared. And there could be guests on some episodes as well.
Yeah, yeah. We're planning to bring in guests as well. So you
Yeah.
can give us suggestions. Who you like as a guest.
Yeah. If you have guest suggestions, people you want us to talk to, bring that in, and we'll be good. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Bye
All
bye.
good.
All good.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye, Ramya.
Okay,
Bye.
bye, Shweta. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
How do we end this?
Just